Hermès is making a huge change. Okay, enough for me to make a whole video about it. And there's two other rumours that I was like, while we're here, let's just throw those into the mix and let's debunk or tell you if they're true or not. Hermès is the creme de la creme of luxury fashion houses at a time when the majority of luxury fashion brands aren't growing, are experiencing issues in demand. Hermès is experiencing the absolute opposite. They are one of the few brands that are reporting positive growth. They are one of the few brands that, if people aren't spending at any of the other brands, they're willing to move their spend from there to Hermès. And that's because people still value the Hermès products. They are classic, they're very highly regarded, but that's not stopping them from making big, initially maybe quite questionable changes to some of their products. Guys, if you are new here, my name is Cassie and I'm a self-diagnosed luxury addict. I put out videos on Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays, so if you like luxury fashion, then you're probably going to love it here. So head on there, subscribe, turn on the bell, become a member of our luxury addicted family. When are we going to rehab? Never. And by the way, for all of these, I have sources who have confirmed. I shall not reveal my sources, otherwise I may not be here for the next video. But let's start off with the two smaller rumours and then we'll end with a bang. Rumour number one is that the Kelly Pochette has been discontinued. This is the top-handled cousin to the Mini Kelly, no extra strap. She's a little bit longer, it's got a little bit more depth to her. You can fit more in a Kelly Pochette than you can a Mini Kelly. It has seen a growth in popularity in the last, I would probably say, 12 to 18 months. And this makes sense because look at the other sort of styles that have been proved to be very popular. You're looking at the Loro Piana L19 pouch. You're looking at the Bottega Veneta what is it called? Big Bang? No, Bang Bang Vanity pouch, right? A very similar setup to the Kelly Pochette. A couple of years ago, there was an absolute astronomical boom in the requests for a Mini Kelly. If there was an Hermès bag you wanted, 9 times out of 10, it was a Mini Kelly, right? Everybody was scrambling for what was the hottest bag at the time. It's still a great bag. That was the it bag at the time. And because so many people started to request the Mini Kellys or wanted the Mini Kellys, Hermès decided to up the production of the Mini Kellys a little bit. We know that Hermès doesn't mass produced to the same amount as a lot of other luxury houses, but they did decide to prioritize Mini Kellys. And the Kelly Pochette maybe got neglected a little bit because now all of a sudden people are requesting Kelly Pochettes, and there's this rumor that the Kelly Pochette has been discontinued because there just really aren't that many floating around. They are more rare than a lot of the other big bags that everybody sort of wants at the moment because they just haven't made enough of them. However, I'm sure that in true Hermès fashion, its rarity will make it even more popular. But that rumour is not true. Rumour number two is that the Mini Birkin, the Birkin 20, which is the same width as the Mini Kelly, is also being discontinued. And that is looking to be true. Basically, it seems to be a bit more fiddly to produce and it's just too small. I mean, even with the 25 centimetre Birkin, people complain that the little straps are too small to weasel your wrist through, right? Well, it's impossible with a Birkin 20, unless you're a child. So yes, apparently it's too fiddly and too small. Well, to that I say, what about the tiny Mini Kelly bag charm? Okay, that turn lock actually works. You can't tell me that that is less fiddly than a Birkin 20. At least give us the option to have it. As somebody who hasn't been offered one, will probably never be offered one because that's a very rare bag, and they're also doing it in like the Faubourg, which is very expensive style, and exotics as of late. Once again, not my price bracket, but I would just it would just be nice. It would be nice to see some of them. It would be nice to have the option, you know, eventually, if that ever was an option, which currently it's not, but I'm just saying. What about those of us that love TBE? That's my question. No, my biggest beef is with the fact that they have not re-released the micro Kellys.
Scratch that, I meant micro Birkins. Like, this obviously looks much easier to make than the super complicated, you know, house facade ones, right? Like, give us this, please. Just a kind suggestion to the atelier.
Of many years ago. This was when the Candy collection came out. I believe this is a JPG, a Jean-Paul Gaultier, when he was creative director of the house. Piece of mystery and wonder. They go for insane amounts on resale market. They're like selling for like 23,000, 25,000. They're absolutely glorious. She's soft, she's a micro Kelly. Okay, I say, if you're going to lock off the sodding micro Birkin, at least give us another option in her place, okay? She was very fab, okay? And it was nice while she lasted, but yes, apparently she's just annoying. This now brings us to the kicker. Hermès is allegedly discontinuing the Himalayan. Let me just let that sink in for a little bit. Yeah. Infamously known as the most expensive handbag in the world, in 2022, a diamond-encrusted Himalayan Birkin size 30 was sold at Sotheby's for $450,000. The Himalayan is known as such because of the dyed ombre of the crocodile leather used on this bag that is meant to mimic the snow-capped mountains of, ding ding ding, the Himalayas, hence the Himalayan. And that $450,000 Birkin version is not the only one that has gone for absolutely staggering figures. There's 200,000, there's 300,000. And to this day, until stocks exhaust, because this is what we're covering, it's still offered to very loyal, high spend Hermès clients, okay? This is not, yes, it is an elusive and a rare bag, but this is not a bag that only comes up every once in a while in auction. It's something that, up until recently, has been produced. So why, if this is a bag that, because it sells for over, I mean, the diamond version sells for the six figures, right? The non-diamond version, I think, is just below 100,000 or something around that. I'm not entirely sure, right? But why not produce these pieces if people are willing to buy them? This is a bag that, if it's being offered to you, 9 times out of 10, I'm assuming that you have the means, you're not turning this bag down, right? So why get rid of them? Well, the alleged reason is because loads of other brands have started to do their own versions as well. Yeah, Hermès is the ultimate, I'm not like the other girls, the ultimate, I loved this band before it became mainstream sort of brand. They, it seems, don't like that a few other brands, and I'll tell you who's been doing this, have started coming out with their own Himalayan bags, that they are getting rid or stopping. Is a better term to use. Are these bags in any way able to stand next to Hermès Himalayan? No, not really, because I'm going to tell you 3 bags in question. They don't have, like Dior does one. They're doing it in silver hardware. The Hermès version is an 18 karat solid white gold. There's a diamond encrusted version. There's a non-diamond encrusted version. Whereas, if I look here, right, and it's not like I can go on Dior and have one pop up because they're only sold in certain, you know, stores and whatever else, okay? So let's have a look at a resale one. It's going for 40,000. That is a tenth of what the one that sold in auction went for. So, okay, in terms of value now, small Lady Dior white Himalaya crocodile silver hardware. I mean, it's essentially the same vibe, right? White Himalayan leather with silver hardware, 2 top handles, 4 bottom feet. Charms are also covered in the crocodile, right there. It's very clear where the inspiration has been taken from. Okay, another brand that's doing this, okay, it looks like this was sold for 16,000, is Louis Vuitton with the Capucine style, again, silver hardware, white matte Himalaya crocodile, mini size, interior is a goat skin, blah, blah, blah. Again, it's very clear, it has the elements of the Himalaya, but you're not here with your diamond hardware and your solid white gold. I think that they also do this bag in the City Steamer style from Louis Vuitton. This one's 25% off if anybody's looking for a deal. And then we also have Gucci's version done with the Diana tote in the medium size. Again, she's a Himalaya. What do we know about any of the hardware or anything? This limited edition tote is numbered 19. Okay, so these ones are like numbered and all of that business, right? Again, it's still not to the same level as an Hermès Himalayan and the sort of the notoriety that that bag has, right? But it's very clear that other brands have taken note. 2 out of 3 of those are LVMH brands and 1 is a Kering brand. Interesting. Hermès is a lot of brands, and I think that it's become more and more obvious in recent years, have seen what Hermès is doing and wants to emulate or take a little bit of inspo. You know, they are front and centre on those brands' Pinterest boards because of how well they do and because of the value that is widely recognised of the brand. People might not be spending as much at other brands and they're willing to shift what they would have spent from those to Hermès because even though, you know, economically it's a tough time, they would much rather spend there and know that the value that it has there rather than risk it or not value the other brands as much. So other brands have tried to take what Hermès is doing, take a leaf out of their book and do the same. And that's very clear with the Himalaya. I think that it's also very clear from the resale of these Himalayan bags from the other brands that it's clearly not to the same level. What Hermès is very good at is staying in its lane. It doesn't want to look at what everybody else is doing. It doesn't want to be inspired by any other brands. And they could have sat there and very easily kept producing the most expensive bag in the world, kept selling it with absolutely no issues, but they almost refuse to compete with anybody else. They want to do their own thing, and they are more than happy to completely stop production of something when they see that there's too many other similar versions of it around and stick to their own lane and do their own thing. They are very much trendsetters in that way. Imitation is the highest form of flattery, as we know, and no doubt they will continue to come up with some crazy style or design or fabric or whatever it is that's not been done before and set trends and maybe records once again. I have no doubt that they will pull something crazy out of nowhere. I mean, even the fact that the Faubourg style Birkins, the amount of work, nobody else is doing a facade of their house on the side of a bag, and again, it's so rare and highly regarded and sought after as Hermès. And who knows, maybe the Himalayan will come back into production every once in a while in a few years' time. It's things like this that make me really admire the company. They're not afraid to push themselves. They're not afraid to go, we're going to take the risk that other people wouldn't because they want to just churn out more money. And we want to push ourselves and see if we can create something very interesting and different and set the standard. And I think that that has helped keep them very much on top of the game and have everybody else scrambling to try to emulate them. What are your thoughts on the Himalayan being discontinued and all of the other rumours? I'm going to leave a link to another video over here in case you haven't already seen it. Have an amazing morning, afternoon or evening wherever you are. And in the words of my father,
if you've enjoyed it, tell your friends. If you haven't, keep your mouth shut.
I'll see you in my next video. Mwah. Bye guys.